What's going on, guys? It's your boy Ben. Welcome back to BH Aquatics and welcome to our first official Fun Friday. If you guys are new here, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to my channel if you want to see some more awesome fish videos and some more Fun Fridays in the future. And without further ado, let's take a look at some awesome stuff we'll be doing in the fish room today. So guys, last time we talked, I said probably with this new Fun Friday idea that I had for a video every Friday, I'd do something with a Biocube, and that is in fact what we are going to be doing today. Now, what we're doing today in the Biocube actually has something to do with the 150. Now you'll see the 150, you'll see like the wet part underneath the bottom of the tank. Like that means that there's got to be a leak in there. You see no water in the tank anymore. That means that the test after the resealing evidently failed. The resealing did fine because there's no water in the front of the tank. But with that said, I'm thinking that there might be a sealant issue somewhere else in the aquarium that I just wasn't aware of. So because of that, it's going to delay the arowana moving from the 55 into the 150, which also delays the quarantine fish from going from the 15-gallon quarantine tank into the 150 as well. Not the 150, the 55 as well. So, I thought what better, more fun thing to do for this first Fun Friday, but then to move these quarantined fish in the 15-gallon and toss them into the 30-gallon Biocube. I mean, you can already see that the Biocube has tons of fish in it already. They look absolutely stunning together. You got a goldfish, you got 5 beautiful red top albino cichlids, you got 7 gorgeous rosy barbs, 2 males and 5 females, and together they look really awesome. But the one thing that's missing is just different assortments of colors. Since these fish are either albino or rosy barbs, I mean, and the goldfish too, they're all oranges and yellows and reds and really nothing else. So I thought that the best thing to add to this tank to make it, give it a little bit more pizzazz, would be to add the rainbows that we got down on the bottom 15 there and see what they look like. So I told you guys that I probably wasn't going to be adding these quarantine fish that are in the 15-gallon down there to any tanks anytime soon. In fact, I told you I was probably going to keep them in quarantine for anywhere from 2 to 3 weeks. But those plans have changed. Why? Because simply this 30-gallon tank is in excellent shape. It's already been cycled, obviously, seeing as how there's plenty of fish in there already. And the 15-gallon quarantine fish, they are looking absolutely stunning. I haven't had any issues ever since I moved them out of the 5-gallon bucket and into the 15-gallon. I've not spotted any sicknesses. They've been in there for a week. And overall they look very nice, just as nice as the day I bought them. So they're definitely healing from any wounds that they had from being in that 5-gallon bucket with cichlids. Now I know a lot of people are going to be worried, Ben, you have a goldfish in this tank with 5 albino red top cichlids. These are African cichlids. Sure, they're only like 1.5 to 2 inches now, but they will, when at full size, get 4 to 5 inches. Yes, I have taken that into account. And what I'm doing to keep aggressiveness to the down low in this tank is, at first I did see them nipping at the goldfish a little bit, but to stop that from happening, I've started to feed them more frequently throughout the day. Something that I learned through the NEFGA, New England Fancy Guppies Association, check that out if you want to learn more about guppies, is that the best way to grow out your fish when breeding is to feed them frequently throughout the day, but in small amounts. And that's really been helping out with these cichlids. They have been so much less aggressive than they originally were. And although that the goldfish looks a little tattered from when the cichlids originally were put in this tank, they're now getting along very well. There's definitely like a sense of I think it's symbiosis. I don't know my science term, but I think that's when 2 fish can coexist, or 2 animals can coexist with one another, even if they're naturally unable to in the wild. So this is definitely really cool, and I think it's going to be extremely awesome when we throw the rainbows in. So without further ado, let's take a look at that real quick, because obviously this is Fun Friday and we want to see the best fish possible. So to make this process super easy, just from transferring the 15-gallon rainbows into the 30-gallon Biocube, I just took my ruler simply and propped up the top of the tank, because it is on a hinge on the back. It's not something I could just take off the top. Now, you're probably wondering, a ruler's not going to hold this. This is actually a 3-way ruler, kind of cool. So if you have any neat gadgets and you're looking for a nice way to prop up your Biocube real quick, throwing fish in from quarantine into the tank, this is an excellent way to do it. Just find something to stick in the corner, because these corners have openings, and really whatever works. I recommend a 3-way ruler, but if you can't get your hands on those, anything will really work as long as it's safe and you're not going to break anything in your tank. The rainbows that are going into this 30-gallon Biocube today are 3 Parkinsoni rainbows, adult male size. They are absolutely gorgeous. They got some oranges and they've gotten some awesome blues. So I know that I said we're trying to mix up the colors, make it more exotic in this tank. We absolutely are. Sure, they do have a little bit of orange, but that's really only vintage orange colors that they have, whereas the body is really like a bluish, silverish. I think the contrast is going to look absolutely excellent. So, as you might know, one of them did die in quarantine with the aggressiveness of the cichlids that were in the 5-gallon quarantine bucket with them, but now there's 5 cichlids in here with 8 other fish, including a big goldfish, added on to the 3 Parkinsoni rainbows that are going to be added. I think that it's going to be just a great overall community tank. I think that the aggression will really go down quite a bit. So, let me go and grab those fish. So I got 2 of them, guys. They're going in. Oh, they look so cool already, guys. Now, I just want to mention while I'm grabbing this last one in here. Oh boy, this guy's going to be a struggle. I do want to point out that the only reason why I am able to make this transition so easily is simply because all of the water that goes into my tanks is exactly the same, and the temperature in all my tanks are very similar. So yeah, it makes the transition from one tank to the other very easy and allows me to do quarantine tanks to regular tanks on a more efficient basis. So I just put the last one in. You can see the 2 original ones that I put in right up front here. They look pretty cool in there already. I'm obviously going to put the light down so you can see them a little bit better. Turn the lights out in the fish room so you can see them a lot better. You won't have any glare on this curved front panel of the Biocube. Now, there is 1 fish left. It's a dwarf neon rainbow. I only had 1 left out of 7, so I'm leaving him in quarantine just because I am getting replacement ones to live with him, so that once the 55 is available, I could just throw them in there. But depending on how these guys look when I turn the lights off, these rainbows might actually end up staying in this Biocube. So guys, this is the tank without any lights on in the fish room, and it actually looks incredible. I mean, look at the fish, look at the goldfish, the orange, the albino colors, the colors of the male rosy barbs, the female rosy barbs. They look absolutely gorgeous. You have a nice, beautiful Parkinsoni rainbow down there. Looks absolutely stunning. He's got the awesome blues, the awesome silver, the awesome orange. He's even got a little bit of black. As you can see, the fish, they're schooling around. Obviously, cichlids being territorial as they are, they're really checking out the Parkinsoni rainbows because these guys are new to the tank. Barbs, who also tend to be a little bit more on the aggressive side, just not nearly as territorial as the cichlids, they're also checking them out. I'm sure there's going to be a little bit of fin nipping in this tank for just a couple of days, but just like what occurred with the goldfish, it's going to take a couple of days for the fish to settle in all together. And I think in the end it's going to be quite a gorgeous tank once everything has settled down and boundaries between territories has reset to these awesome new fish that have been added into this tank. So guys, my favorite part about this tank, even before I added these rainbows in, was simply feeding time. As I said in the beginning, I have 3 separate feeding times throughout the day. They get small amounts just so that we keep them occupied and we keep aggression down, but also so that we don't overfeed the fish. Now what I feed my fish is a couple of, I don't know if you guys can see it. I know it's pretty dark down here, but I think the darkness helps to really bring out the colors in these fish and the awesomeness of this tank. I feed them a couple of pinches of tropical flakes, and then I also feed them a couple of pinches of goldfish flakes, just because in my mom's tank at her classroom, she feeds both her rosy barbs and her goldfish flakes, and the rosy barbs nearly never get tropical flakes unless they're staying with me. So here we go with the tropical flakes. We got 3 pinches of that, just because I typically feed them a little bit more at night. And look at that, they're already going at it. The goldfish goes at anything. I give 2 pinches of the goldfish flakes, and that should do it for what I feed them for dinner. Close the top there so that you guys can see them. And as you can tell, these fish, they really go to town on the food. Absolutely go crazy. And even before the rainbows were added, it was a really fun sight to see. But now, adult rainbows, they often school together. I mean, younger rainbows typically school together. But watching these big adults schooling with all the other fish, all eating together, this is just going to be an awesome adventure to watch this tank in the future. And I'm going to keep you guys posted on how this tank does. Hopefully all the fish get along. If so, we could do so much with these fish. And I'm really excited to see what the future holds for these guys. So guys, I know you can't see me too well, but this is an awesome angle of the fish just that I wanted to show you. You get to really see their colors, and I thought this would be a great way to end this video. You get to, wow. And once the goldfish disappears, the colors kind of fade out a little bit, but when he comes back, they're just as gorgeous. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it. If so, make sure you hit that like button, because it will tell me you want to see more Fun Fridays. I know that this one was a little shaky. It's my first one. I probably wasn't sure how I wanted to do it, but I feel like it really came together. Putting together just the finishing touches for this 30-gallon Biocube have been absolutely awesome, and I'm excited to see what this tank holds in the future. So if you guys are just as excited as I am, make sure you subscribe to my channel, and without further ado, I will see you guys on Sunday. Peace out.